Hey, SEGways!
Today I'm gonna watch Expedition X for the very first time. Yep, I've never seen this show before, but I've had a fair few people ask me to watch it off late. From what I've been told, Expedition X used to actually be pretty good, but as the seasons rolled on, it's kind of lost its way. Well, in typical side-eye guy fashion, I'm going to be watching one of the more recent episodes because I like to torture myself like that.
You stupid!
This was uploaded not so long ago and is titled The Curse of the Conjuring. That's right everyone, I am revisiting the Conjuring House.
Yay!
But annoyingly, I won't be able to bring up too much of my experience while I was actually at the Conjuring House for myself, because Expedition X are not actually going to the Conjuring House. No. They are going next door to the famous Conjuring House.
But why? Why?
Yeah, that's right, to the neighbouring home of the Conjuring House. Tell me that Expedition X isn't a Team U show without telling me it's a bloody Team U show. I mean, what's next? Going to 31 East Drive? Or the second to last house on the left? But anyway, before I get stuck into the video, I need to take this time to thank all of my awesome members and patrons for your amazing ongoing support. Expedition X won the vote beating Most Haunted and Exploring with Angelo. If you wish to get involved in the next vote and have your say on who I debunk and react to next, then please consider supporting the channel by becoming a member or a patron to the Side-Eye Guy. The link is in the description. Also, please subscribe.
I assume you guys know the movie The Conjuring?
Yes, terrifying. When that demon jumps off the closet, that gave me nightmares. Yes, terrifying. Yes, terrifying. Yes, terrifying.
You have received your orders. You will obey my orders.
We are in for a long video if this guy's acting is so bad that he can't convince me that he actually likes a good horror movie.
But it's based off of a true story, the case files from Ed and Lorraine Warren.
It's based on real lies that was spun by the Warrens and the Perrons. Yeah, that much is true.
That's right, acclaimed paranormal investigators, the Warrens, helped the Perron family, who believed that they were being attacked by a demonic spirit at their home in Rhode Island in the 1970s. And here's the kicker. Apparently, it's still happening today.
I mean, with the amount Jacqueline Nunez, the former owner of the Conjuring House, charged to stay at her property, you'd bloody hope it's still supposed to be haunted to this day. I mean, it was never really haunted in the first place, so either way you look at this, it's a giant waste of money. Believe me, I found out for myself, firsthand.
How you feeling so far, Seg?
Alright.
Yeah?
Comfy.
Yeah, you look very comfy there down there.
Please tell me we're not talking demons jumping off closets.
Well, we kind of are, actually. There's a family who lives on the property now called the Boylans, and they claim that they are dealing with the exact same kind of paranormal activity that afflicted the Perrons 50 years ago.
Wait a minute, the Boylans? There's never been any Boylans to live in the Conjuring House?
And since the Warrens are sadly no longer with us, they've turned to Expedition X for help.
Yay. So in the early stages of this episode, it's clear to me that Expedition X is trying to muddy the waters here. They're making out that they're going to the Conjuring House, but they're not.
There's a family who lives on the property now. There's a family who lives on the property now. There's a family who lives on the property now.
They are going to the Conjuring House's next door neighbours. My guess here that this is in fact an intentional tactic by Expedition X in an attempt to mislead their audience to get them all excited that the guys are going to go to the Conjuring House, but by the time we all find out that they're not actually going to the Conjuring House, you know, they're going to the next door neighbours, people are already kind of invested enough to not switch the channel. So anyway, next up in the show, Josh Gates, who's the narrator of Expedition X, tells us all the story of the Conjuring House with the Perrons and the Warrens, and that load of old bollocks that everyone knows inside out by now. But funny enough, Josh Gates is smart enough to not bring up the name Bathsheba Sherman, which I do find kind of interesting because, you know, that is the whole thing about the Conjuring House. That is the big bad villain that makes the Conjuring House so infamous. But more and more these days, nobody is really bringing up Bathsheba Sherman. So in short, Caroline Perron, the mother of the Perron family, and Lorraine Warren pulled this whole bullshit story about Bathsheba Sherman being a witch, and cursing the land after her death. This story is complete and utter nonsense, and Bathsheba Sherman has been a huge victim of the most slanderous lies. And because of this, Bathsheba's grave has actually been desecrated, and Warner Brothers carried on where Lorraine Warren left off and dragged Bathsheba's name through the mud even further by making her the big bad villain in their movie. Bathsheba was not a witch. This has all been but proven by now, and she was never associated with anything to do with witchcraft. She never killed anyone, and she never received any form of capital punishment. So now this whole myth has been debunked. The question really does remain is who or what is actually supposed to haunt the Conjuring House? Well, we don't really have an answer for that. Nothing really. So you would have thought by now that people would have cottoned on that this is all a load of bollocks. But here we are with Expedition X still so desperate to milk the everlasting shit out of this nonsense story around the Conjuring House. So much so that they are even willing to go over to their neighbours.
Now, 50 years after that fateful seance, a new family believes the demonic entity is back, or perhaps never left.
It's so dumb.
Patrick Boylan and his family live in a historic house right next door to the Perrons' former home. Just like the family before them, the Boylans are experiencing unsettling things.
Okay, I've actually got some beef with old Patrick here. When I visited the Conjuring House for myself, spoiler alert, nothing happened the whole night I was there.
I give you full permission to touch me, wherever you want. I would love you
I love you.
to change my mind. I welcome it.
Because the Conjuring House is about as scary as watching fucking Bluey. But anyway, when I was there, we were asked by the caretaker of the Conjuring House to not walk around the grounds. And we were told this because the neighbours were sick of YouTubers making a bunch of noise outside. So on one hand, I was kind of frustrated by this because, you know, I was told that the land of the Conjuring House is even more haunted than the actual building itself. But then on the other hand, I could actually sympathise with the neighbours living next door to the bloody Conjuring House. I thought to myself, yeah, to be fair, it would be kind of annoying seeing a bunch of bloody annoying, loud, obnoxious YouTubers shouting around outside. But now that I fast forward to this video I'm watching right now, and they're getting all the attention they want from a fucking TV show going to their house. All I wanted to do was walk around the grounds outside and film a little bit. You know, instead of talking to the walls in the building, I can at least go talk to the trees. But they didn't want us to do that, but they're happy for a film crew to come into their fucking house and do all this bullshit.
You need to chill out.
I mean, now that I come to think of it, maybe it was the other neighbours that didn't want us outside and not the Boylans. But regardless, Patrick is still going to get the brunt of my frustrations all the fucking same. Because, you know, I'm unfair like that.
Life is cruel.
Bone-chilling, disembodied voices. Furniture violently flying across the room. And Patrick even claims he survived an attack from a vicious entity in the dead of night.
You'd be surprised how often this kind of thing happens. When a popular haunted location pops up and makes a bunch of money, all of a sudden other nearby properties start saying their place is haunted.
After half a century, is the pure evil of The Conjuring still haunting their home?
It never started. I mean, come on guys, this really is clutching at straws here.
So what do you think?
Well, my heart goes out to the Boylan family. I can't imagine how terrifying it must feel to be constantly under attack in your own home.
Are both of these guys going to deliver their lines like they're in an episode of Days of Our Lives?
This paranormal activity has spilled outside of the original Conjuring House into the property next door. So maybe there's some type of violent energy tied to the land itself.
Oh yes, the land is haunted. That old chestnut. So from what I've heard, the two biggest arguments on why the land is in fact haunted is of course the old cliched ancient Indian burial ground. Blah blah fucking blah. Because you know, ghost hunters just love to exploit the natives of their country when it comes to this bollocks. And the other reason I've heard is in fact that this is supposed to be a site for the King Philip War, which is in fact a war between the English settlers and the indigenous people of the area. But the thing is, the battle sites for the King Philip's War happened nowhere near in Rhode Island where the Conjuring House is. So again, I can see no reason why the land in the Conjuring House or the neighbours of the Conjuring House would in fact be haunted.
The Boylan stories are clearly very unsettling. But, I mean, think about where they are. If you lived in the shadow of the Conjuring home, wouldn't you also be prone to seeing spirits?
Such a skeptic.
I mean, that's my job.
Okay, so we got a skeptic in the video. Nice to know. So anyway, let's fast forward and see Expedition X visiting the home.
Wait, is that what I think it is?
Is that the original Conjuring House?
Yes.
I know this is nitpicking here, but you can't actually see the Conjuring House from the road. It is hidden behind a whole bunch of trees. You gotta go into the driveway before you can actually see the house. So Heather's reaction here, making out that she can see the house from the actual road, is a load of bollocks. And all just performative for the camera.
And there's the boiling house. They're literally right next door to each other.
That is crazy.
What's crazy about it?
So you're born and raised here?
Yes, I raised these two in this house.
It's a pretty interesting childhood.
Yeah.
You're living next door to one of the most famous haunted houses in the world, and your house itself seems to have a lot going on.
It's terrifying.
It's terrifying!
What sort of activity are y'all experiencing?
Shadow figures,
How original.
noises,
No need to elaborate on any of this. Generic noises is all we need.
sometimes even whispering,
Yes, 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 pretty standard stuff.
things moving or getting thrown.
Okay, things are getting a little juicier now.
One of the craziest, probably most terrifying things that's happened since I've been here took place in the bedroom.
Dirty bastard!
Middle of the night, 3 o'clock. This woman came to me over the bed. She was floating 2 feet in front of my face. She was trying to grab me.
Someone's been watching a little too much Ghostbusters.
Has anyone else had any sort of violent attack?
Probably not.
I'm gonna start helping the ghosts out soon if we don't get to the actual ghost hunting bit.
Do you have any physical evidence? Do you have any recordings, any photos, any videos?
Good question from Team U Ben Barnes here.
I took photos of our bedroom before and after I painted the walls. And on the mirror, you could clearly see it looked like a face. Actually, I have it here.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
I mean...
I mean, that looks like a face. Do you have any ideas on who could be haunting this house?
It could potentially have something to do with next door.
Oh, you think?
If you truly believe all of this is happening, why do you stay here?
I like this guy. I think I like this guy. Do I like this guy? Maybe? I don't know.
This is where I grew up, and I just feel attached to this place. I don't want to move.
Your kids are scared and the ghosts are violent, according to your own words. But your reason for staying in this dangerous house is nostalgia? I mean, for fuck's sake, come on here. How can anyone whatever. So anyway, the family leave the house and then our ghostly pair have access to their house for 48 hours. So they start setting up the camera and ghost equipment and all that good fun stuff.
We use cameras a lot in our investigations, but this is old school. This is something that the Warrens would have used to document their investigations. And we'll see if something interesting shows up.
All right. What else you got? Oh, VHS camcorder?
I bet your dad had one of those.
Oh, yeah. So here we can get a little haunted home video.
I've seen other channels do this very same gimmick. They use old dated equipment that the Warrens would have used back in the 70s just because the Warrens used them.
But why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
This is when you start realizing that the paranormal field really is for entertainment purposes and not really for any level of scientific based research whatsoever. So if Expedition X are just wanting this episode to be out and out entertainment, yeah, sure, fine, go ahead, I don't really care. But if they're going to try and convince me that they're looking for any level of scientific evidence for the existence of ghosts while using that fucking camera, that is total bullshit. I mean, what scientists in any other field of science would use dated, near obsolete equipment to gather any kind of compelling or accurate evidence?
Our plan is to start the night in the attic, which is also Kyler's bedroom, in search of a source for the footsteps he hears. For all we know, there could be some animal living in here. That could explain all the footsteps and all the movement.
Yeah, they're very clearly going for a Blair Witch found footage kind of look by using these old cameras. But I gotta admit, I kind of like this look. I mean, I love the Blair Witch Project, so I got a soft spot for these kind of cameras. But like I said earlier, I'm looking at all of this as entertainment at this point and nothing deeper than that.
Seeing some rodent scat, but nothing big enough to sound like footsteps. Oh, there's a dead animal in the corner. Is that... Something died in here.
At no point do they actually tell us what the animal was. They just leave it as something died in here, because I suppose that sounds more dark and sinister and creepy, doesn't it? For all we know, that could have just been a spider that would be in anyone's bloody attic. I mean, the camera is pointing right at it and I can't see a damn thing. So if it is an animal, it's got to be pretty damn small.
Okay.
Did you hear that?
What? It sounds like footsteps.
It sounds like a cameraman. But that nonsense aside, someone actually lives in this attic? If you're going to make this into a kid's bedroom, you've got to actually convert it into an actual bedroom. I know that stuff's not cheap and all, but if you're worried this place is in fact haunted, the very least you could do for your kids is give them a real bedroom.
That's coming from downstairs.
It's so dramatic!
This is it. Where they both were physically attacked.
Unlikely.
And this is the mirror where that face showed up.
I'm gonna do an EVP session using a spirit box.
Okay.
For anyone wondering, Spirit Box is the ghost hunter's way of using a radio. They use the radio in the hopes, the desperate hopes, that they are in fact talking to a ghost, and then the noises through the radio is a ghost talking back to them. This happens by rapidly moving radio frequencies over multiple different radio stations. You know, actual radio stations of DJs talking and playing music. But don't worry, these ghost hunting shows are very good at editing out whenever you end up hearing Living on a Prayer for 0.3 seconds.
Is there anyone here with us? Minnie.
I'm skipping the rest of the Spirit Box bollocks because, well, you know, it's all a load of old bollocks really, isn't it?
Oh, well, hey-ho. It's all a load of bollocks, isn't it?
We're getting so much right now. Honestly, an overwhelming amount of responses.
She's stupid.
What the? That was the basement door. Look, look. The bell is still shaking. Look, look. That was the basement door.
In my humble opinion, I think this is in fact fake. I try not to throw that word around too much, but this time I think it may well be warranted. The show wants to give us the illusion that Heather and Phil are in fact alone in this house. But I can count at least 2 cameramen filming here, and one of the cameramen is in fact filming from a different room at a very, very strange angle. This shot here has Heather and Phil through a doorway, but you know what is very conveniently placed in this shot? The door that ends up moving. So for some reason, this cameraman wanted to get a shot where you can't really see our 2 ghost hunting hosts, but he just so happened to film the door that ends up having some paranormal activity around it. Convenient, right? Now I need to stress, I cannot prove this, but I've been the side-eye guy for long enough watching these dumb videos for way too long, and after a while you can just kind of sniff out when these dodgy camera shots come in place. My guess is that there's someone else on the other side of that door making it move.
Be very careful on these steps. These are the steps that Patrick said he got shoved down.
I mean, someone from your crew already went all the way down to the basement to set up that security camera thing.
What the was that?
What?
Yeah, I saw that too.
What did you see?
There was another flash. Did you get that on camera? Yeah. What the was that?
Interesting. Let's see them investigate it.
Ooh, look at that fire furnace. Maybe that quickly ignited right after I took the photo?
The tone of that light could well match the fire, but what we see on camera here is a proper flash with what looks like a kind of flashlight or a fitted light on the ceiling, not the flicker of a flame. I'm going to controversially lean towards this being fake as well. But I think now is probably as good a time as any to mention that this house is in fact a registered business. It's a guitar repair shop. They do mention this in the actual show.
The basement. I spend 12 hours a day down there in my guitar repair shop. At least once a day something happens.
So, could this be a huge elaborate ploy to get some free advertising for their business? I don't know, but honestly, none of this really feels legit or authentic to me at all.
This must be his workstation. Look at how many wires there are down here. Everywhere you look, there's wires hanging, so maybe something just short-circuited.
Or maybe you faked it.
Doesn't explain the door shutting and doesn't explain the footsteps.
Yes, quite the collection you guys have experienced here. I mean, I was in the actual Conjuring House itself for 13 hours. I even spent a whole bunch of time in the basement all by myself.
How did I end up coming to America to come to the Conjuring House, sit in the basement, and sing Row Row Your Boat with a fucking Michael Myers mask on my face?
And I didn't get anywhere near the amount of stuff that you guys are getting in the house next fucking door.
Must be the old foundation. Like, this could be what literally connects this house with the Conjuring House, with that Arnold farmhouse property.
Why are you so stupid?
What the was that?
What?
I just heard a knock. I just heard a knock on that door. Where does that lead?
I feel a breeze. I feel a cold breeze coming through. I think this goes outside. Oh,
Calm down.
God! This door just closed. Oh my God. Hello? Heather, what did you see? Did you see someone?
I saw the door slam close. And that's right after I heard the knock on the door.
There is so much to unpack here. So Heather screams really annoyingly loud.
What the?
And then it cuts straight to commercial break, just like the bloody cock teasers that they are. Then when the episode kicks back in, we come straight back to Phil, and he doesn't ask Heather what she was screaming about. He doesn't seem to immediately address it whatsoever. He takes a little bit of time to go through a second set of doors, and then he finally asks Heather what the scream was about.
Heather, what did you see? Did you see someone?
Which is a really weird editing decision for them to make. Surely if someone screams that loud right in front of you like that, you're gonna ask immediately what on earth is going on. But what's even more bizarre and unnatural with all of this is that Heather is saying the reason that she screamed is because she saw the door closing.
I saw the door slam close. And that's right after I heard the knock on the door.
I can only assume that she means the second set of doors because we can see the doors next to Phil don't in fact move. It would have been handy if Heather would have actually explained what she was talking about, but I guess she was so scared that she couldn't have possibly articulated this to the camera.
Bullshit!
But if in fact the door was moving a bit or closing, why would that make anyone scream like this?
What the?
Best part of the show so far! Encore!
Logically, surely, if the door opens as the one that Phil is next to, he opens that door, wouldn't that just create a draft that would make the other door open? Isn't that far more likely? But I think we have to state the fucking obvious here that more than likely this scream is all just for the camera.
The next day, we have a crew member stay behind at the Boylan house to monitor the surveillance feeds, while Phil and I split up to find out more about this mysterious property.
So, let's see what experts they unearthed to interview to uncover the truth of the Conjuring House.
I'm meeting with Andrea Perron, the eldest daughter of the Perron family.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Andrea Perron? Really? She's been living off the back of the Conjuring House mythology pretty much her whole bloody life. And she comes up with some really wacky shit. And there is no one better to draw out the wacky than the queen of wacky herself, Batty Negri.
And what it is a portal cleverly disguised as a farmhouse, which I have referred to it as forever. And it is. It's a very clever disguise, and it is absolutely alive with death.
Oh, you crazy.
I really want to understand what you went through.
So do I.
Take me back to the 70s. Take me back to when y'all moved in to the house.
I mean, the day we moved in, I walked into the house, took a hard right into the dining room, and there was a man standing in the corner.
Crazy bitch.
So literally from the first moment you stepped into that house, you saw a spirit.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No, you bloody didn't.
Did y'all experience any violent activity before the Warrens got there?
Yes. There were several incidents that could have claimed lives.
But it didn't, did it? It never does it? It's always a near death or we barely made it out alive, but you always do make it out alive, don't you? Nobody ever actually dies ever in any of these fucking hauntings.
I can't even tell you. I I can't even tell you.
Okay, that's enough from the grifting amateur dramatic hour. Hopefully, whoever Expedition X interview next won't quite be so full of shit.
I've arranged to meet with Tony Spera, the son-in-law of the Conjuring investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Tony Spera! In my Exploring with Josh video, I explained how I did not want to watch the most recent Conjuring movie, you know, Last Rite, because in that, they have Tony Spera's character in it. And even though Tony was not involved in the real-life smell case of the Warrens, they still depict him as a really nice guy. But the real Tony Spera is anything but. There's some very disturbing allegations about his time as a police officer, and the amount of rubbish he talks about Ed and Lorraine Warren and Annabelle and all this bollocks is just exhausting. But of course he's going to keep spinning all of this because he makes a direct profit from all of it. Just ask Matt and Elton about that.
Oh no, not these guys again!
So anyway, Phil ends up going to Tony's garage, haunted museum, to talk more about the Warrens and the Conjuring House.
There's one object here though that's very, very famous, actually infamous. This is the Annabelle doll.
Well, I think that's a load of shit.
Annabelle doll, which supposedly sliced someone open in the 70s, then caused a priest to nearly die in a car crash.
Bullshit.
There's also a summoning mirror that supposedly drove a New Jersey man insane in the 1980s, and a satanic worship idol that Tony claims put Lorraine into a catatonic state for 3 days in 1991.
I can't, guys. I just can't with this yard sale bullshit junk shop. I already went on and on and on about the Warrens' house and the basement and the Annabelle doll, and I really can't be bothered to do it all again, especially not with Tony on camera now. All of this section of the episode has literally nothing to do with the Boylan's house. You know, what the video should actually be focusing on. Instead, we just keep going on and on and on about the bullshit mythology around Ed and Lorraine Warren at the Conjuring House. Anyway, next up they cut back to Andrea Perron, and she tells some dumb story about some paranormal happenings near a creek that is by the Conjuring House. Honestly, I am tuning out of her performance because it's so over the top. I just can't keep up with the bollocks.
She came running back to the house and she's like, Mom, I met so many kids. There were so many of them. And my mother, knowing that the property was haunted, that there was activity all over the property, immediately sat my little sister down at the table and said, tell me everything.
What an eccentric performance. And now we get an unnecessary action shot of Heather and Phil dramatically racing to the creek. I can't help but think it's probably about a 10-minute walk from the house.
Both families had experiences right here. I think this creek is a huge piece of the puzzle.
Don't do it. Don't start the whole running water creates paranormal activity crap. I've heard this claim being made a fair few times, and it's one of the dumbest things I think I've ever heard.
Water, as it relates to land, can often be linked to the presence of paranormal energy. Originally, streams running through the site had to be diverted around the church.
They don't actually say it, but I feel like they're very much inferring it.
Whole body of water is running along the two properties at the Boylans and the Conjuring House.
But anyway, they wait till nightfall because, you know, everything's scarier in the dark, albeit it's completely pointless and unnecessary, to investigate this random creek for some reason. They use a thermal cam and a stick figure Xbox Connect cam, SLS cam, again for some reason.
Ooh, right there. Ooh, right there.
Sound effect was a bit much, wasn't it?
That is a weird figure.
Crazy guess here, but do you think it could be caused by the tree branches? I'd hardly call this scribble a figure, you know?
Did you used to play with the Perron family here? If you could wave your arm. There it is, yes. Yes.
Fucking idiot.
Is that?
I can't tell if that was an animal in distress.
It sounded like kids' voices.
Since you're outside, I'm unsurprisingly gonna go with animals here.
Was that you that just made a noise? Are you tied to this land?
Animals. What else could it be?
Look.
What is that?
Looks like there's something up there. Let's go.
They really do amp up the drama in this show, don't they? I know this goes without saying, but the cameraman has to take the time to get himself into position correctly so he can get that shot of Heather and Phil running up the hill. So obviously, by the time they actually got this shot in place, it's not quite as quickly we have to get up that hill as soon as we possibly can. It's not really a race to find out what they caught on camera. It's all just really a load of bollocks, isn't it?
Heather, whatever heat signature I saw up here,
It's gone.
it's long gone.
Yeah, animals will do that. So next up, they keep going with this show's forced dramatic nonsense. They radio back to the Boylan House headquarters. Yeah, they do actually seem to have a headquarters set up in their bloody house, because they urgently need to see some photographs that they took from the night before. Like they're trying to make out these photographs were just developed and they're available to see for the first time right now. Ignoring the fact that these photos probably would have been around all day and the guys would have already seen them. I mean, this stuff is so transparently dumb, it just doesn't make any sense. But fuck it, I'm just gonna go along with it now.
There. Look at that shape.
That looks like a silhouette.
Isn't it this one?
No. No.
The image does look interesting, but I don't trust a thing these guys have to say at this stage in the video.
So right where I'm sitting, this really looks like the silhouette of a person.
That gives me chills.
I don't get it.
Now that I can see it enlarged,
That's what she said.
it just looks like a light reflection to me.
I'm calling it. It's time. Call in a priest.
Okay.
Have priests really got nothing else better to do than to turn up to a shitty TV show to play along with their farce?
So we found a priest who specializes in exorcisms to help us finish what Ed and Lorraine Morin started in 1973.
In a totally different house. Amazing logic here, guys.
Father Bob Bailey has performed dozens of exorcisms during his 25-year career with the Catholic Church.
Yes, upon doing a little bit of research on old Father Bob Bailey, it does seem like he has a little bit of a flair for the dramatic himself, so no wonder Expedition X would use him for their nonsense. Father Bobby Bob is also no stranger to the Warrens and Annabelle and all of that bollocks. He seems to be very deep into all of that bullshit and very much plays along with it.
We'll do what we can and do battle.
Ooh, you're hard showing off.
Most importantly, the priest sets up a relic that he says is a splinter from the cross that crucified Jesus.
Bullshit. To cleanse this house of all evil presence.
Good God, this is all so dumb.
May the army of warrior angels surround us and fight with us against negative entities inhabiting and infesting this property. Okay, now we'll go to the individual rooms. So if you want to join me with holy incense.
Not just incense here, guys, but holy incense. Created straight from those infamous Christian holy countries like China and India.
Father Bob continues the exorcism in the younger son Hunter's bedroom, where things take a very disturbing turn.
So there's something in here. In nomine Domini nostri Jesu Christi vade retro. Whoa.
Are you okay?
Something pushed me back.
I don't believe you.
It was some kind of a force that just pulled me right back when I went in that room. That hasn't happened in years.
You mean you haven't lied about it in years? Anyway, Father Bobby Boy here carries on doing this nonsense in all the other rooms of the house, and then he calls in the dad of the family who lives in this normal ass house to bless him for some reason, and I'm struggling to give a flying fuck about anything else that happens at this late stage of the video. In fact, I'm just going to take this opportunity now to finish the whole thing right here, because the rest of the episode is just them talking over all of the compelling evidence that they captured earlier on in the video. So yeah, I think Expedition X is kind of bullshit.
Well, duh.
But I gotta admit, I wasn't actually bored. I mean, maybe I was a little bit towards the end, but for the most part, I thought it was alright. But all said and done, I just do not find this TV show trustworthy at all. For me, it's all just out and out entertainment, and as far as I'm concerned, that's all fine. Yeah, whatever. I mean, they should disclose that, but let's face it, they just won't, will they? They won't do that. All I would urge everyone to do here is that if you like this kind of stuff, go ahead and watch it. Just don't get too wrapped up into the whole thing. Don't let them take the piss out of you and fool you, because none of this is based in reality. insanity. I can't help but just to find the whole thing about going to the Conjuring House next door neighbour in and of itself is really, really funny to me. So anyway, if you enjoyed my take on Expedition X, please give the video a like and subscribe to the Side Eye Guy channel. Right, I'm off to see if anyone who lives next to the Warrens' house is willing to let me stay there for surely a cheaper price than what Matt and Elton are charging for the actual Warrens' house.
Wankers.
Thank you very much. Cheerio.